ambient sounds is the best mod ever. How does my mic sound better than yesterday? Mic problems, I swear. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Let's Play. As you can see, I gathered a whole lot of materials. I was completely out of deep slate, so I had to dig all of these myself. Oh, and I need to convert them to deep slate tiles as well. And then I've got some nether brick stairs, some nether wart. These were a pain to gather as well, because I need a lot of them. The rest of them I pretty much had. And the trees, you know, because of my tree farm, it doesn't take long to get those either. But we're not going to dwell too much on resource gathering and what I've done in preparation for this episode. We're gonna head on, because this is technically a world tour episode. So yeah, we're gonna be touring the world, and I'm gonna be building this structure here in the background, and at the end of it, we'll do a nice little reveal. But before I start manipulating everything around here, this area, so everything is dug down a little bit. This area here, all of these blocks. These are the blocks that I spawned on. This block in particular is the one that I spawned on. I raised it up so I could find it again later. And I'm going to be building a big building here in honor of getting over 100 subscribers. I've got, at the moment, 115. So everyone who has subscribed, thank you very much. And there's no better time to be subscribed to me, because now I can catch you up on everything that we've done. So as I spawned in here, I didn't have the seed set. I just had a random seed because I didn't pre-plant anything. And I saw this mangrove forest and I just made my way that way, which is where I found my base. And it didn't take long for me to find a good location. But before we go over there, I want to start building on this while you guys are on the world tour, so that everything is ready when you get back. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, let's test this out, if it works. Yes! So as I build up, all of these are going to craft. I could have done it manually, but why not get a little bit more experience with the auto-crafter? Alright, I'm going to start you guys off with the tour, and then when you get back, something will be built here. And so I made my way over these hills, and found this little valley here. Some wool blocks there, ignore those. Yeah, look at this. Wish I had a better angle of approach, but I've got some little birds in the sky from afar. They kind of look like birds. Oh, there's so much to show. There's been a lot of progress since the last world tour, which was at episode 20 if you're interested, I believe. Whoa, really? So I'm going to be repeating stuff from back then, but I'm going to explain all the new stuff as well, because we got a lot of new subscribers who haven't seen all of it anyway. So, where to start? There's so much to show. Let's go a little bit chronologically. So I've built this bamboo farm over here, firstly. So this was the first permanent farm in my world. I had a mob spawner over there, temporary one, but this is the first like little automatic farm permanently placed in my world. And I've got a little crane here to simulate, you know, us loading and offloading the bamboo. This is the actual farm itself. It's triggered by a daylight sensor. If Tommy here is at the top, then the daylight sensor can get activated and deactivated. Sending the flying machine across and then collecting all the bamboo. All the bamboo is going in these water streams and then going up into this little smelting array. But since then, the autocrafter has come out, so I'm thinking of making some changes in this design. Even though it's not too bad in here. This is more like one of the first rooms that I've ever decorated. I've like simulated us making stuff with the bamboo, like rafts. I'm stripping this one currently, apparently with a table saw and an axe. And then we've got some storage here for miscellaneous stuff like stairs and planks and all that. This is for the actual blocks, and this is for all the loose bamboo. So first off, it fills all of these furnaces, and then it continues on into storage here. which is gonna change. I'm gonna auto-craft some stuff in here. I don't think I can go in much detail with every single room because there's so much to show. Okay, so I made this little hallway next, essentially. So I've got a loft space here, which I have a lot of room, and I have no clue what to use it for. And then we got this long hallway. I just felt like making a long hallway and just the aesthetic of it. I just picture sun rays coming in. Unfortunately, my computer isn't good enough for ray tracing. Could do some shaders, but generally I don't like to use that. It's too far from vanilla for me. Oh, more stuff to show. But then I kind of went underground. So I've got a couple foxes here that I want to make a farm with at some point. I've got a hole of iron here. So this is I can't remember exactly, but this is the second farm, I think, that I made in this world. Got like some iron golem tiki heads here. With Optifine, this gives like a fog effect, and that's like really nice. But I'm mainly using fabric because the game seems to run better with that. Oh, bastards. At some point, the Endermen started taking blocks again. But every now and again, I just find something that they placed down. Yeah. Where's my guy? I want to see the farm in action. Where is he? Oh, there he is. And then he kind of slows down near each cell, and then the villagers get scared. And if they've slept in those beds, which I think they haven't just yet, then an iron golem spawns, gets to touch the lava, and then all the iron goes to the storage system. And then you can see like the ingots and poppies going up here. So yeah, storage system. I'm filtering out all the poppies. That becomes bone meal, and that gets stored. Right now it gets stored here, but you know, I was planning to make a whole botanical garden, but those plans never came to fruition. And then upstairs, I'm making full iron blocks off of the ingots. This is a later addition. And then all of them get stored right here, where I can just grab them from the boxes and trade with the villagers. Oh, and this change I don't think was there yet either, but I can put all of the emeralds that I earn in there, and they get shot off to over here, get auto-crafted into blocks, and going into my emerald storage. Because this is kind of my trading hall, so I don't have one building to do it. I'm making separate sections and rooms and decorating them accordingly to get all the traits that I want. So in here, we've got all of the armor enchantments with these villagers. And then over here, we got all the tools ones. These are the standard ones, like the universal ones that I can use, like mending and breaking. These are the curses, which I don't have a lot of uses for, but there they are. Sword enchantments, bow enchantments, and then we got trident enchantments. So we got a pretty good setup here. Oh, so much to show, and one thing leads to another. So this is my paper storage, and my paper storage is connected to my sugarcane farm. So I've got sugarcane here, which I can quickly craft rockets with. Everything is connected with everything. This is my mob farm drops, and I can quickly make rockets over here if I need to, and then all of the other normal drops that I've got as well. And then witches drop a lot of redstone nowadays. I'll deal with that later. This is my storage room. It's still a temporary storage room, but I've been using it for ages, so I might make something a little bit more permanent here. But I think I'm gonna go back because we're in the main house now. I'm sorry, it's so chaotic. But anyway, that is the main house, so I'm not gonna show that just yet. This is also one of the additions that I made since the last episode. How's there an Enderman in there? This is a zombie spawner. I can activate it by turning off the lights periodically. The zombies are attracted to that turtle egg over there, and then I can catch them and send them into the villager trading area so that they can zombify all the villagers and I can cure them. Getting all those traits. Oh, and then we enter the scary... the scary door. And apparently it's night. Perfect. If I turn this farm off, you can probably guess which farm this is. There's better designs out there. You can expand on this. And I've done it in hindsight, I've done it in quite a haphazard way. I've got way too many pistons here. I don't need that many pistons. But essentially, I hit the guys, resin starts forming, and then the pistons push them off of these blocks. And then they drop down, like you see there. They get collected by the hoppers, and then they go... I'll turn that off. And then they go into the resin block storage, which has an auto crafter to craft everything into the blocks. And then downstairs, I've got a furnace array that smelts all the clumps into the bricks. So every night I can come here and just whack the creaking. Almost called them creepers. Alright, so we're back at the iron farm, just so you don't get lost. That is the way to that big hallway. Just one more thing I wanted to show about that. I built this little tower here, which is connected to the main house. Don't think that tower was there the last time. And this wasn't here, I think. So these frogs I've bred all the other frogs with that I made a froglight farm from. So I just decided to keep them. I kinda, and these allays were in the first outpost that I found. I'm not specifically trying to get every single mob, but eventually I think I'll end up with a fair few of them. And then I've got the first armadillos that I ever saw, who are adorable. They're so cute. And then the bees that never come out, it seems. Well, it's night now, so yeah, they're in the beehives. And then I've got the foxes that I bred those with. But to be honest, like if I put a minecart system underneath this room here, they'll pick up the sweet berries, and then I've got a sweet berry farm anyway. And then the two sniffers that I found, these are the ones that hatched out of the eggs that I found. The other ones are all bred with them, because I do have a sniffer farm. And then you've got this like dome with the night sky here. I like these blocks. I like the skulk blocks, because they're so animated. Like all the other animated blocks, like prismarine blocks, they're a bit slower, so these are a bit more obvious. And then I was making some stone storage here, but I wasn't happy with the design. It just looked like another hallway to me. So this has been a temporary stone storage forever now. I've got big plans for stone storage though. Big plans. But this is not about the future. This is what we've done in the past 20 episodes. Over here, this little contraption is to turn the cat's lava spouts on and off. This wasn't meant to be a cat, but I looked at it one day and I saw a cat face, and now I can't unsee it. Which I don't mind, I like cats. Boom. When you walk over it, it turns off. When you walk over it again, it turns on. So, yeah, something a little cool. So when you're walking over this bridge, you get something to look at. And then down there is the lava lake that it pours into. And then with the copper, I was thinking, as you go down, the heat of the lava will keep all of this pristine copper, and then as you go up, it ages a little bit. That was the idea. And then you get into this room, which I barely use, to be honest. I do use it, as you can see here. This is my mud drying area. So, obviously, over here, I can dry a lot of mud. It's way too big. I never need that much mud. And then here I've got a mud converter with some dirt storage. Every now and again I just collect all the mud and start drying it. And then nothing? Ah, okay, cool. And then over here I've got a little wheat farm to make the packed mud with. Because I do like the mud blocks. Like this is a beautiful block. I should build with it a little bit more. And then I've got all terracotta here. So the idea behind this room is from dirt, I can get so many blocks. It's actually quite impressive how many blocks you can get just from dirt. And then I've got automated storage here. So we've got packed mud bricks, clay balls, bricks, brick blocks, and then all the terracotta variants. And then, all of the glazed terracotta variants as well, which I don't have a lot of. I need to do, well, I am collecting terracotta, but it's for a project that will show a little bit later on. Down here, I meant to, oh, there's a temporary basalt farm. I meant to do like a proper way to get to the mob farm. I still need a way to get to the mob farm because there's an on and off switch down there, but for now this is it. So here it is. I've dug all of this out so I can make a mob farm. Here we go, and it's working, as you can see. There's a Celtic knot on the wall here, which I'm really happy with. However, because you know it's in this room, it's kind of hidden. I never see it, to be honest, and I have to remind myself that it's there every time I use free cam to get in here. And then I've got some wither roses down here, killing all of the mobs. They drop their drops. The drops get dropped into the water stream. Boom, boom. Water stream goes all the way up to the storage that we've seen earlier. Here. There you go. String is full, apparently, so boom. Gets dropped. Again, so much to show, and there's no real, because when I walk to the one thing, then something else pops up. Hang on, my cat is meowing. Ooh, everything is happening at the same time. Yeah, Winston wanted some attention, so obviously I need to give him that. This is the courtyard, not really a courtyard. This is the central room of my mansion. Let me just quickly pop outside in my lovely, lovely front garden, which is kind of a Celtic cross as well, to let you have a look at the building. So last time, I believe I built these towers in the facade a little bit, but now that we're outside, let's just have a little look. I've started decorating a little bit. I've got a Zen garden on the roof, which I'm going to show later. I've got a little aquarium here with axolotls. And then, yeah, I've basically just did the shell and the rough idea of where what is going to go and what's outside and what's inside and all that good jazz. The idea with this house is I'm really taking my time with it because I'm not the greatest builder. Decorating for me is extremely slow. I need to take my time with it and not force it because otherwise it's not going to look great. Like this window here, I think this looks really great, to be honest. Like for my building skills, this is really great, I feel. Sometimes you do need to take your time with a house like this. That's Jeff, my butler. Hi, Jeff. We'll go into that room next, but we've got more mobs in here. So I've got two phantoms in a cage. I put them high up in the hopes that they would fly horizontally, that they would be high enough from me if I was standing here. Yeah, I can't raise them up anymore, so this is how they're going to stay, grinding their faces against the ceiling. And then we've got these two guys here. I started collecting pillagers from episode 1, essentially, in a hole in my front yard. And eventually I decided, because my plan was to have them kind of chase me in a hallway, but I realized as soon as you pacify them, aka remove all durability from their crossbows, they won't chase you anymore. So I'm just having them here in this little cage. I murdered the rest of their friends right in front of them as well. That's just the kind of person that I am. And then I've got this big aquarium here. I do like this. This is really cool. I might have some plans to expand on it. But there's 6 guardians in there. And yeah, I think it looks lovely. We're not done with this room yet. obviously. There needs to be a lot of decorating still. But as I said, I'm taking my time. This goes to my villager trading area, which you've seen. I've got a jukebox with some vinyls in my hallway. That's the storage room. Oh, and periodically I just hang up like some memoria. This was the phantom membrane for my very first phantom kill. So I just put it in an item frame, and yeah, kind of a little memorial. Oh, that is a project that I'll show you later. You'll see what that is and what these are all about. Right, and then before I forget, I got like another first here, the first armadillo scoot. Got that while transporting those guys downstairs. This is the first buried treasure map that I've ever looted. And then I've got like sort of a room of firsts. So this is obviously from an end ship, but this signifies me defeating the end dragon. This is a legit skeleton skull that I looted in a ancient city underneath the mountain behind my house. First retired bow, and the dates below it. I do like to do that. Not sure what this helmet is from. Really can't remember. Maybe I need to go back in the episodes to find out. But then I've got my first goat horn, which I raided in a pillager outpost way out there. I got the allays from there as well, to be honest. And then first enchanted golden apple. I assume that's from the ancient city as well. I should put them on the wall with signs, really. These trousers have got me through the first couple of episodes. They've got mending on them, and I looted them from a destroyed nether portal. So yeah, they got me through the first couple of episodes. They were protecting me. And then we've got captured mob list. These are all the mobs that I have already got. And then the mobs that I still need to get. So, and the dragon I'm probably not gonna get at any point. I know you can do it, but I'm probably not gonna. So I've got guardians, I've got phantoms, pillagers. You get the idea. And then that's the book that was too expensive to put on my boots. I don't get it. You got XP farms in the game. You can get to 1,000 levels. How is this too expensive? I just don't get it. And then the first wither rose that I got, I think this is from the first wither fight that I've done, which was accidentally legit. I wanted to cheese the wither, but he escaped. The first pale garden creaking heart that I looted from my first pale garden, first ancient debris. I found a way to collect the suspicious sand as well and place them down. If I were to brush this, nothing would come out of it though. So you can only collect them for decoration. And then you got the first emerald ore that I've mined, the dragon fight, which was last year. That's interesting. First wooden pickaxe, and it only has been used 3 times to get my 3 first cobblestone. And since then, I've never used a wooden pickaxe again. And then the first... Oh, zombie transport potato. This was a zombie that I killed whilst making the transport downstairs to zombify the villagers. And he dropped a potato, so I kept it. But that is the room of firsts. And then I've got this little sheep farm here. So all colored wools, all of the colors of wool are going to collect here in these boxes, and the sheep farm is just underneath, as you can see here. Very humane. I might adjust it though, because I'm not fully satisfied with it. The hallway is fine, but yeah, we'll see what we can do with that. And then I've got an enderman here. I caught this enderman and brought him here because he had a wither rose in his hands. But for some reason he dropped it. He hasn't for ages, and now all of a sudden, since I've captured him, he dropped it. Yeah, don't know what happened there. This is my map room. So, again, I need to decorate it. But these are the maps of kind of the areas that I've semi-completed, or the bigger areas that I'm working on, I should say. So this is my house, obviously. The front garden, the main house that we're in right now, and then the bamboo farm, all that good stuff. And then a zoomed out version of that. So I plan to expand on it, make it nice and symmetrical at some point, but I kind of want to tackle the terraforming around here first. Again, something that we take our time on. And this is an area that I'll show you later. This is a tribute area. And I'll tell you the story behind it once we get there. And this is a picture of the before of my end island. So I'm hand mining the end island. I might show you that later as well. And I want to keep all the resources and just see how many resources we can get from mining all of this. So currently, I've got a platform underneath the whole island to catch everything, and I'm digging away the pillars, which takes a lot of time. I kind of underestimated how long that would take. And then we've got the central staircase here. Put some bushes up, some windows. I know it's weird to have awnings on the inside of a house, but I thought they looked cool. So there they are. Little brew was set up. This room needs decorating as well. This is the staircase that I've kind of decorated as well. So I'm fairly good with this room. It needs a couple of touches, but other than that, it's pretty good. And then we go downstairs, which is a bit more finalized. And I've got my first drowned ingot here, and then my first zombie iron ingot. Couple of paintings, and this painting here. But I'll let you have kind of a better look of the... Yeah, it's kind of a side room. Doesn't really have a purpose, but it's just decoration. But this is a map art that I've made. So one of my subscribers, Mr. Time Architect, he provided me with a lyric. The lyric was "I Will Be Heard" by Hatebreed. One of my absolute favorite songs ever, by the way, like a really good song. He did that on this date. I like to keep track of the dates as well. And I had an AI generator make an image of it, and I made map art of it. And then you've seen that little map art thing hang up here. But as you can see, I'm kind of in the process of removing everything so I can make new one. Oh, and this is some map art as well. This was in honor of me making the bamboo farm, and this was my pet at the time, Loki, cutting down bamboo. So much story. This is the problem with well, I wouldn't say problem. This is the thing with the Foreverworld. You invest so much time into it. You want to make stuff that is specific to you and special. So, you know, that map art, that is very special to me. That keeps me connected to this world. And this house as well, to be honest. And then the little projects that we're doing. We're not going to go through it, but this guy announces that we're about to go into the nether portal room. So I've got a nether portal room here. Decorated it nicely like it's the nether. I've got an emergency box here. If I die in the nether, then I can... I need to put my spare elytra back. Then I can grab some provisions and then go out and go grab my stuff. And I kind of saw this shape and I was like, oh, that's funny. And then I put 3 wither skulls up there. And I've got a wither rose here. Soul sand on the floor so I can walk a little bit quicker. Yeah, so that's the nether portal room. We'll go there through the nether portal in just a bit. Little honey block elevator. Never made one before that episode, but yeah, that was nice. Yeah, so on this floor we've got my bedroom, which I've fully decorated as well. I think it's nice and cozy. The only thing I still need to do is decorate the balcony here, which gives me a lovely, lovely view of everything that we've done so far. But yeah, so a couple of paintings, all decoration. Yeah, pretty fun. And then we go into this next room. This is going to change as well, I feel, because this is a honey farm for both honeycomb and honey bottles. It's not a big farm, but I don't need it to be bigger. I just needed to auto-craft everything so that it's fully automatic. So I want these to go to honey blocks and then the bottles to return into the station. So I don't have to do it manually anymore. This one I'm probably going to have a barrel fill up with honeycomb and then a double chest with honeycomb blocks, to be honest. But I need to fit it in this little small space, so a little bit of designing necessary here. And then we get out here. This is connected to the tower that goes to the bamboo farm over there. Oh, I've still got some cows over there, apparently. Haven't used that in ages. And I still need to show you that. Nothing in here apart from a freaking grass block. Wonder how many we're going to collect during the filming of this tour. So if we go upstairs, we're here at the Zen Garden. If I go this way, this house has so much space for potential rooms, and I love it. I love taking my time on a project like this. Sometimes I do wish it was completed, but again, if I rush it, it's not going to be cool. That's the deal. That's the deal. So I made a little Zen garden here, and I went a little bit fantasy with the amethyst crystals, but you know, I think it looks really great, to be honest. Vegetation and lots of flowers, like little rock piles. Yeah, it's like kind of a Japanesey kind of Zen garden, especially with the cherry blossom. I do like to use this for cinematic shots, like you will see a couple from this angle. Very cool with the particles, yeah. Okay, and then, yeah, I showed you earlier. We've got an aquarium here with the axolotls, but they're kind of hard to see from up here. So maybe I need to do something inside here that showcases them as well. That's not a bad idea, actually. I should write that down. Ideas. Oh. Oh, a lot of spoilers. A lot of spoilers. Okay. Ideas. Axolotl. I hope I understand what I said there in the future. Yeah, I keep track of my ideas like a to-do list, locations, and Project Arc, which is collecting the mobs that I want to collect. Oh, one of the first cool, really cool builds, in my opinion, that I've done was take a 3D model of Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, and I crash landed it on this mountain. And when I terraform this whole area, I want the mountain to look kind of shattered and spikes coming out of it because of the impact of the hammer. But this is like the model from the God of War games, and yeah, it's small and not very detailed, but it's the first one that I've done with Axiom. So in combination with Lightmatica. So yeah, I was really happy when I made that. Okay, now I want to show you this area, but we gotta sleep first. So this is my sniffer farm. So I've made kind of a half circle here with pens for each sniffer, and then I've got a minecart collection system underneath to pick up all the seeds that they collect, and then the seeds get dropped here. But to be honest, I haven't had a need for a lot of flowers, so the seeds are kind of building up. There's no way, if I killed all of these sniffers or removed them, I don't need to be so cruel, I would never ever run out of seeds, because I will never need that many flowers. Well, I'll say that now. But if we go up here, if I did want to grow all of those, if we go up here, we've got a couple of pastures or flower fields that I've made, kind of leveled out the area, and this is where I grow them. So if I ever need a massive amount of orange dye or cyan dye, I can come here and just harvest all of them. No, it's up there. This little area here, just a little nook inside these flower fields. Alright, mate. While I'm here, I do this every time I'm here. I'm collecting all, like, you know, kind of flowers that I pick up along the way. I drop them all off here. I got some dyes here, and this is like a tiny storage for dyeing some materials. But I've got a better area for that now, and you will see that in just a bit. And then we get to the ice farm. I like this build. It's like a miniature castle kind of thing. And yeah, I've got an on-off switch here. Basically, these strips of water, they freeze. The pistons that you can kind of see over there, they push them towards the middle and then push them up, creating this big ice block, which I can then mine, and then I store the ice over here. Yeah. This snow might be annoying for YouTube, so I'm just gonna get rid of it if I can. I can't. But yeah, I made this for a giant project that I've done with ice, and it turned out to be insufficient, and I went to an ice spikes biome to clear it out, and that's how I made the big thing that we're gonna see later as well. Okay, what else? So there's one more thing. Oh, that's my villager breather, but that's gonna move at some point as well. There's one more thing here, and it's quite obvious. You've probably seen it. I really wish this weather would go. But yeah, you've probably seen this big thing here. This is a piece of Yggdrasil, the world tree. So you can see that it's kind of a tree stump, and I've put some beacons on the sides of it, just to give me some speed when I'm in there. Oh, and I had to remove a pretty hefty piece of this little hill here to get to it. So all of these resources are that. I just need to, again, I need to make a proper stone storage before I can put them anywhere. But let's go in. This is like my first really gigantic redstone project that I've done. So a fair bit to show you as well. I'm gonna go fairly quickly through it, but if you want to see more of it, just go back in the playlist until you see that big tree being built, and you can follow this process from the start. That will give you the most details, if you're interested, of course. So we've got the on and off switch for the moss farms, which give me bone meal. That powers this whole tree farm. By the way, this is a tree farm. We've got some elevators here, we've got stairs going up, but I started with the downstairs. So this is my storage room. So this is everything that you would need for all the tree types, apart from bamboo, which was my first farm that I put over there, and pale oak. That came later. It wasn't even discussed when I made this. So that's kind of my problem here. This is like kind of fits for all the tree types that were existent back then, so I can't really add anything onto it. So for the pale garden, the pale oak, we're gonna have to make something else. But I've got all the saplings here. By the way, and this is miscellaneous, so I've got creeping vines, weeping vines, apples, shroomlights, and sticks. And down here is where the madness is. So I've got an intake over there, and this is the start of the ice road that goes all the way around the system. So this is my sapling storage. Everything gets filtered and put above this floor, and then we've got all the different wood types and everything related to them, and then we've got all the leaves on this side. So if we go up here, we see that the filters correlate with everything up here. So we've got leaf storage here, and then tree storage here. So we've got a full box for logs. Let me show you a fuller one. That was poor. Yeah, we got a full box for the logs, and then we've got a full box for the planks, and then everything miscellaneous. Every single item is filtered downstairs and put up here. I'm really proud of this giant filter system that I've made. It's a fairly simple system if you know a little bit about redstone, but it's just gigantic and a headache to get it all fitted into a particular area. And then I've got these maintenance accesses, I've got these maintenance hatches that bring me into the bones of the structure. So I've got hopper mine carts here going around the tree farms, which is on top of that dirt over there. I've got some offloaders here, minecart offloaders, and then I've got the moss farm here, and a couple more up here because it wasn't enough. And then I've got another fungus farm there. But let's not run too far ahead. In this room, we've got an area where I can just plant the trees here, and all of these are full with bone meal. Once I press that button over there, all of the trees will grow, and I can just chop them down and everything falls in the water streams and everything gets sorted downstairs. Now, before you say anything, I know there's universal tree farms out there. That was not the idea with this. I wanted to spend some time in this beautiful building that I've created. So this is meant to be semi-automatic, not fully automatic. Now you got a couple of automatic farms here. So you got the twisted vines here, and then the weeping vines, and then yeah, there's no bone meal in there, but it would get bone meal to grow, and then the piston would cut it off, and everything again gets filtered underneath and gets stored downstairs. Oh yeah, and then we've got the propagule farm behind here, which is connected to this lever as well. Then we got a sample of all the saplings here, and hidden behind here we got my bone storage, and there's a lot of it. But to be honest, with like 5 moss farms, that fills up in no time. Right, time to go upstairs. We've got 3 levels of this. We've got a little bit of storage here for the warped and crimson fungus, and a little bit more bone meal. The fungus farms are hidden behind there. I've shown them to you earlier. And that little dropper there drops all the propagules, the funguses, the fungi, in here. They get picked up by the hopper minecarts underneath. So this is obviously my nether tree growing room. Needed to be tall because some of them get really tall. And then I just plant fungus here, bone meal it manually myself, get on top of the trees and chop everything down. And then everything gets stored automatically. Got a little maintenance access here as well. Those are the farms that we saw earlier. I can check on the minecarts, make sure that everything is still working. And then I've got 2 more elevators here. Boom, and we get to this elven looking structure. This is my big tree farm. So I've got more bone meal here because I'm manually bone mealing these. Couldn't really find a way to make that happen automatically. I'm a messy boy, so I haven't cleaned this up yet. This is the access to downstairs, yes. So yeah, kind of a lot of redstone in this build, but I've really thoroughly enjoyed it. All of it's simple redstone as well, it's really not difficult. And then we've got a raise platform lever here and lower the platform. And then I can just plant the 2x2 trees here, manually bone meal them and then chop them down. And then, you guessed it, everything gets picked up and stored in the boxes below. Yeah, so that is Yggdrasil. Let's have another little look at it before we move on to the next area. Yeah, I love it. This is like a Celtic knot kind of design. Because with the terraforming that's going to happen around it, I want a lake somewhere. I'm not 100% on where it should be, but let's land here then. I'm not 100% where the lake is going to be. I want it next to the tree somewhere, but the idea is this weave is the weave that the Norns weave to determine each mortal's lifespan, which is a Nordic mythology thing. I explain all of that in the episodes as well. So if you're interested in this whole project, there's a couple of episodes featuring this. So yeah, feel free to go back and have a look at them. This is something special, truly special, guys. So yeah, this is my tribute to Loki. Bit of backstory: Loki was my kitten. He was 1 year old when he unfortunately got hit by a car and passed away while I was on holiday. I miss him extremely. I miss him tremendously, even though I've only had him for a year. He was way too young. He didn't deserve to die yet, so I made him a tribute in my Minecraft world. This was my way of dealing with it, and that is his name in runes right there. Got like an amethyst kind of cave. So this pedestal that he's on is meant to represent the Bifrost, so you got the rainbow colors on top there, and all of this smooth basalt is supposed to like make it look that the ground is moving as he's running along. And he's running towards the Valkyrie, which is about to bring this fallen warrior to Valhalla. This is what I needed all that ice for, obviously, and it turned out really good. I love these two statues, and it's such a good tribute I find for my fallen pet as well. But yeah, Loki, I love you, mate, and when I remember him, every now and again when I think of him, I come here and just look at the statues. Hope that wasn't too sad for you guys, but to me this is one of the most important builds that is in this world. Just a small pyramid with some beacons. Just kidding. We've got an area where we make dye. So all of these little huts or little towers are flower farms. I've got a flower farm down here. This one is on by the looks of it. Shouldn't be. But it gives me an excuse to show you the inside. Still need to decorate this hallway, but as we come inside this giant pyramid, we've got some dye storage on the side here. Cactus farm, obviously. Bamboo farm, you might guess what these two have to do with each other. And then the flower storage here. So I wanted to have a decent supply of all the flowers in the world. So as I activate the flower farms outside, and you can kind of see what color the flower provides by the beacon beams that's above them. What's this? Ugh, I am such a messy boy. I need to clean up after myself. Yeah, so once those are activated, they collect the flowers, and through water streams, all of the flowers eventually make their way here. And this is not a filter system. This is a system that this one is activated. Once this barrel is full, well, this hopper in specifically, that comparator will raise this block, and that is an overflow system, so that if more flowers come in, they will drop down through here and go downstairs. So let's go one floor below us. Boom. Oh, I really like this room. This is my flower sewer, which doesn't sound great, does it? But I made these like sewer-looking tunnels, and this one goes to the white tulip, the cornflower, and the lily of the valley farm. So I've got like a minecart that I can load up with bone meal. The bone meal is over here. So I can fill those up and just make my way down here. This is for immersion's sake. I don't have to load that up and bring it all the way with me. But I've got these two flowers over there, and I've got this flower over here. Little maintenance areas, and these are all different. So I've customized them to go to the specific flower farm, and I've made them feel a little bit claustrophobic. Because I don't know if you've ever been in a plant room or a maintenance room, but it's always tiny in there and full of services, pipes, you know, cables, all sorts. So yeah, if you were to go to a different one, it would look different. Let's go inside this one, see? So it's a different layout. And here we go. And then you got the on-off switch, you got your piston reset, and then you got the bone meal storage, which is empty. Once the flowers get harvested as well, that dispenser dispenses them, and then these water streams will bring them into here. So they make their way around, and then they end up, oh, wrong door. They end up in this room, and these are the item filters. So every single filter gets the flower and puts them into the water streams upstairs to the flower storage. This was a headache because I had to go up and over and around. It was something. And then if these are full, the flowers just continue on and start making bone meal for me. And then if the overflow upstairs is activated, the flowers come back down to these individual farms, and these are auto crafters, and they make all of the dye. And then they dispense them, and all of the dye goes upstairs. Oh, this is the smelting, cactus smelting area, which is fully automatic. Yeah, all of the dye gets shot upstairs into the dye storage, which we've seen earlier. Woo! All this talking. I hope I'm not going too quick. I really do. I'm trying to show you all the builds in a little bit of detail, but I'm simultaneously I don't want to waste too much of your time, so I'm trying to go quick and still give you a decent explanation and a decent view. Okay, cool. There we go. New map area, and this guy is a little bit of a spoiler, I'm afraid. I have two guesses where I built it, in which biome I built it. So yeah, obviously, mushroom biome. Oh, look at this mess. Mushroom biome. Why? 'Cause I gotta. No. There's no hostile mobs spawning here. And while I was working on this as well, I temporarily shut off the weather rotation, because I really don't want a lightning bolt to hit one of these and then blow all of this up. This here was the map of my good faithful subscriber, Mr. Time Architect. So I've started dismantling it, but this is a job and a half to maintain this area. But I feel like we're going to spend a couple of episodes here, not to make a particular map, but just to revise this a little bit. I've got some storage here that I've, slowly started preparing, and it's basically to store all of the materials that I'm going to need to fill this whole section of map. That's the idea. So you've got all your wool storage here, and then you've got all your terracotta. This is mainly what I'm mining terracotta for these days. But it wouldn't be bad to make a proper building for it. We'll see. This is the concept that we're going with right now. We'll see how it grows. But yeah, I'm thinking of maybe spending a couple of episodes focusing on this section of the world building thing. The reason why I've towered up like this is for different colors. So if you didn't know, if you have the same blocks on a flat area, it will just show you a flat piece of color. But if you elevate it, like I've done here, you can get a whole lot more shading into it, and that makes it just a little bit more detailed. Like all of this, for example, is TNT, but there's a difference between that shade and that shade. So yeah, that's a good example of what I'm talking about. A lot of work, definitely a lot of work, but for my subscribers it's worth it. So just a quick little revamp. For any subscriber that stands out to me and that person provides me with a lyric, I might make one of these map arts and hang it somewhere in my world, so that you guys are forever a part of this single player world. But I believe that is all the areas that I've done up until now, and all the builds that I've done up until now. No idea how long this episode is, but we've got a little bit more to go. Let's head back to spawn and see what has erected. Should be seeing it at some point. There we go. We are going back to spawn, and look at that. Oh, I haven't seen it since, well, obviously I designed it and I built it, but now is the first time like seeing it walking up actually in the world, which is a very different feeling. While I was building it, I was like, why are there no mobs spawning? And then I realized I've got my mob switch here. Ooh, this is loud. I'm gonna take some distance. So I made this mob spawner, and then 1 or 2 episodes later, boom, the spawn chunks shrink. Yeah, the spawn chunks all of a sudden shrank. So now the spawn chunks are like, I don't know, 3x3. But these are not in the spawn chunks anymore, so I can't switch off and on the mob switch. but I was close enough to build in this that it just worked. And I was like, why am I not seeing any zombies? Well, that was why. Look at this. I know you've seen the building, but let's watch the time lapse anyway. Yep, so that's the time lapse. Oh, it is pretty. I do like it. I like it a lot. Very simplistic, not too much detail, which is what I was kind of going for. I don't want to go overboard with this now. So the idea is, by the way, you know, the 100, I think is pretty clear, but just in case it's not, this is my tribute building for getting 100 subscribers. And then for 500, if that ever happens, we're going to build another one. And then 1,000, and then whatever after that. I don't know if we're going to make those numbers. We'll see. I'm not doing this for the numbers anyway, but 100 is a special one. So I felt the need to design something. And what better place than our single player world? There we go. The interior, I've done nothing with it. This is open. This is not designed for anything in specific. I could build farms in here. I believe this is in the spawn chunks. So it would always be running. Could put an iron farm in here. But yeah, these blocks I'm going to keep here. I haven't touched them, apart from this. That's the very first block that I placed in the world. Permanently. So these blocks will be a tribute. This is the exact block where I spawned. So obviously it's ascending into the heavens. Yeah. Well, let's have another good look at the building. Sometimes I just feel like I'm glossing over the builds that I've just done. But yeah, in me fashion, I couldn't just leave an episode without building something. So yeah, I've just built this. And even though it wasn't the main feature of this episode, I am well happy with this. And again, I just can't thank you guys enough for subscribing to me. Honestly, it means the world to me. It means that my little hobby here is entertaining people, and that just makes me feel like I'm over the moon. But anyways, guys, that is it for me. Some exciting news though. There's going to be a second series on the channel, which I'm preparing for, but I'm not going to spoil what that is. I'm going to explain it in the episode coming up. It does mean though that we're going to take a little break from this world, just so I can set up properly in the second series. But don't worry, this series is forever, and it is the primary focus of my channel, and it is the one that we're going to keep throughout the lifespan of this YouTube channel. So even though we might take some breaks sometimes, we're going to come back to this, and we're going to be invigorated, and we're going to just continue building. But anyway, guys, I've got no predictions for when the next episode is going to be, but it will be out at some point. So with that, thank you all very much for subscribing. If you haven't, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I like it. I just wonder what I can put in it. Let me know in the comments.